Hello, my name is Kelsea Schulenberg and I will be presenting the paper towards leveraging AI-based moderation to address emergent harassment in social virtual reality. I am presenting on behalf of myself and my co-authors, Lingyuan Lee, Dr. Guo Freeman, Samaneh Zamanifard, and Dr. Nathan McNeese. Harassment online has long been a concern. In response, content moderation mechanisms have become crucial approaches to mitigate and prevent online harassment. These strategies include human-based moderation and a growing trend towards using artificial intelligence or AI-based moderation. Human-based moderation is when hired or voluntary human moderators go through posts and comments to remove harassing content manually. While this process has the benefits of providing human elements of social awareness and performance, human-based moderation is often criticized by researchers and users alike for perpetuating the personal biases of the moderators and for being unsustainable at a large scale due to human burnout. AI-based moderation is the use of algorithms or machine learning to filter and remove content automatically. It is particularly promising as AI is exponentially more computationally powerful than teams of humans and can thus work at more sustainable paces. AI-based moderation in places like Reddit, however, can be limited by a lack of transparency in when something is considered harassing and is sometimes criticized for lacking awareness about when something is harassing versus not harassing. More importantly, there are several challenges to mitigating harassment in social VR specifically, where social interactions are far more immersive and embodied than other online social spaces. First, there is no consensus as of yet as to what is harassing versus not harassing in social VR. Second, there are limitations of social VR provided tools that make it difficult to manage harassment, and even inadequate defining on the part of social VR platforms as to what existing moderation pipelines might even exist. Third, bias of human moderators also is a concern in social VR, where interactions are intrinsically tied to one's social position and are more embodied. Given the limitations of human-based moderation and conceptual benefits of AI-based moderation, we were thus motivated to explore the following two research questions to understand how real social VR users might perceive opportunities and limitations of AI-based moderation in social VR, and how they envision designing future AI moderators to better serve the protection and prevention needs of these users. For this work, we conducted in-depth semi-structured interviews with 39 real social VR users with a variety of identities and social VR experiences. It is important to note that the majority of our participants are not technical AI experts. As such, their perceptions are most often based on AI-based moderation that they have encountered in other online social contexts, such as Reddit and Discord. Analysis of the data followed qualitative analysis methods. Following our two research questions, our findings identified three categories of perceived opportunities and limitations for AI-based moderation. First, our participants overall view AI-based moderation as being significantly more consistent and reliable in its judgments on when harassment happens and what should be done about harassment than human moderators, who can often be swayed by personal appeals or have biases of their own. They did, however, view AI as also having an interpretation limit, meaning AI might lack a level of sociocultural awareness to recognize when the same incident is harassing versus conversation between friends, for example. Second, our participants felt that AI-based moderation has a far greater ability to moderate the real-time social interactions of social VR because of its ability to act instantaneously and be everywhere all at once, especially compared to the limited time and mental capacity of human moderators. Some are worried that it might still have technical limitations that might not be advanced enough to carry out this monitoring social VR, where interactions are far more complex and the landscape is virtually and literally endless in its creative potential and its scope. Finally, our participants, particularly those with identities that are marginalized within and outside of social VR, felt that AI is far more likely to be impartial in its assessments of a harassing situation than humans are, as AI is pre-programmed and did not take things like the identities of two social parties into consideration. Some participants, however, point out that there is still an equality limitation here, as the people who develop AI often unintentionally bake in their own biases, and that developers are likely to be people who are not thinking of the unique harassment situations being faced by minority populations in these embodied social spaces. Second, our participants provided two categories of designing visions to overcome the limitations of AI-based moderation to address social VR harassment. First, as P6 points out, ideally it's a balance between both crowdsourced accountability being the forefront, supported by human compassion and AI analysis behind the scenes. There are three components here that our participants overwhelmingly view as a good user-human-AI collaboration. First, users provide feedback on what is and is not harassing through their behaviors, such as blocking. That provides constructive information to a multi-level decision-making system wherein the AI learns from users and acts on it, while human moderators make sure the AI is acting with sociocultural awareness in complex cases. Finally, in order for the system to not further perpetuate marginalization, our participants believe that the human moderators themselves need to come from diverse backgrounds, so the sociocultural information being provided to the AI is representative of all social VR users, not just the majority. Second, in order to feel like the system is transparent and provides them the protection they need, our participants believe that users should be able to have some kind of access to a readable version of the code for the AI to know what it is doing and have companies be amenable to feedback. This is particularly important for social VR users, as social VR users often tend to be more technologically literate as they themselves are creating social VR features. To create experiences that meet protection needs, our participants feel that customization of the AI moderator's appearance, or if it has one at all, provides for different needs for comfort, acceptance, transparency, and feeling free from being watched. All of these components are especially important to social VR, where you are having embodied, creative, and free-form social experiences. Moving into discussion, our findings show a re-envisioning of AI's new roles in achieving nuanced moderation in three ways and provides three principles for future directions of designing these systems. First, our findings show that AI has the potential to be a new form of empowerment for addressing harassment, particularly for marginalized individuals, as its opportunities address challenges presented earlier by defining harassment consistently, providing effective tools for combating harassment that do not exist currently, and debiasing the moderation process to the extent with which it is possible. Second, AI becomes a new ally rather than a simple tool through a user-human-AI collaboration that sees all three actors working together towards a shared goal. Finally, if not properly considered, AI could be a reflection of new and possibly unfair power dynamics between users and VR companies and majority and minority users. Our participants view things like code source transparency as a way to collapse that power dynamic between users and VR companies by making users more aware of what VR companies are doing. There are three principles then to design AI-based moderation. First, limited appearance customization to make an AI moderator either appear or not appear in-world to users helps provide a sense of control to individuals' experiences of moderation in these novel social spaces where user control and creativity is highly valued. Second, communities within social VR should be invited to take part in the initial algorithmic development of an AI system, and the AI should iteratively learn from communities and users in turn to make sure that the system works for the individuals most affected by it. Finally, user-human-AI collaboration sees all three actors working together towards a shared goal by performing various tasks that they are most suited for, and achieves a level of nuance lacking in systems that prioritize only one actor. In conclusion, social VR users perceive AI-based moderation as a highly promising avenue for combating and preventing harassment in social VR when it is approached with nuance, sociocultural sensitivity, and user control at the forefront. We would like to thank the National Science Foundation for funding this work.